Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Nelson, you're watching NatureNel, and if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you guys so much. My viewers are one of the best viewers I think in the world. Maybe I'm not being biased, but I really love you guys so much because I've been noticing my numbers going up, and every time I put some video up there, you guys are so enthusiastic to leave a comment and engage in the whole episode. And speaking of engaging, I just dropped an episode that is amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, please go see it. It is a home visit at an amazing garden that is massive. It is so big and so beautiful, and the way that they care for the orchids is incredible. I've never seen orchids so healthy on trees, and it's thanks to Gio, who's newfound orchid friend. He owns a company called Gio's Golden Orchid Care, and he specifically does orchids in gardens, and he knows his orchids really well. I even told him, I go, you don't need pointers, you got this down packed. I might get him to do my orchids. That way it relieves me a little bit of so much work, because honestly, I don't know where I'm finding the time nowadays to feed my orchids, but it's getting harder and harder. And when the season comes in, I just can't find the time to spray my orchids. So Gio, I may be calling you. Anyways, today I'm going to give you guys a what's in bloom. I did give you one not too long ago, but it was a mini one. But there's quite a few things in there that I want to show you and share with you. It is the fall, so we don't have the blast of blooms that we have in the spring, but we do have some really nice things. Plus, I want to show you a little surprise that I've been cleaning up this season. I decided to just take some days off and clean up around, because this garden, speaking of mammoth, takes a lot of work to maintain, and really it's my partner and I who take care of this whole place. We do have landscapers, I cut the grass and all, but everything else we do ourselves, so it's a lot of work. So I want to share that with you because I'm so proud. Without further ado, let's go look at some blooms. I gotta tell you, it's really a beautiful day today. I am so happy on my day off. Today is Monday. It's usually my day off, and it's usually raining. But today is just gorgeous. So let's come inside here to my greenhouse. For you newbies, this is my cactus collection. I've been collecting cactus, and boy, I didn't know cactus grows so fast. I recently got this. This is from my friend Terry, and look how big. And then look at this one. I think it's called crackstone cactus. So anyways, guys, I want to start with this gorgeous Dendrobium that was gifted to me. Now, I don't have the tag, and I'm not going to try to remember the name right now. Let's put on the lights. Boom! This was gifted to me by Roxy from Orchid 365. And it's a beautiful Dendrobium that switches in color as it matures. And this one is just starting to open, so you do see the green pistachio tone. And as you see it convert into a white, a creamy white, that's absolutely beautiful, with some highlights of pink and fuchsia. And this was a gift she gave me for my, I believe my anniversary, was it? Or my birthday? I can't remember now. But it's a pretty tall cane. Now, for you guys that love Dendrobiums, don't be disappointed if your Dendrobium canes lose leaves. It's a very normal thing for Dendrobiums, especially if you keep them outdoors. It tends to happen a lot. I keep one in my salon, and yes, the leaves are good because it's indoors, it's not getting beaten by the heat or the pest or anything else like that. But when you keep them outdoors, they will lose their leaves, and you know what that means? It'll probably spike a lot for you. So when Dendrobiums lose their leaves, not all the time, but most of the time, it's that it's getting ready to give you some blooms. Like this right here. This is a beautiful Dendrobium. And honestly, I don't mind the loss of leaves, because I've learned that that is just one of the characters of it. So you see these lose leaves, and then the new ones come out and give you beautiful spikes. Now I want to show you this. This isn't a bloom. This is a sun orchid. I have no idea what it is. I lost a tag, but it wasn't holding well to my fenced. When I mean fence, it's this. Because some of you have asked me, oh, what do you mean by the circular? This is what it is. It's a pot with some bricks underneath. I have no medium in there, and I just put my sun orchids there, and they do beautifully. But this one, for some reason, did not want to stay. So what I did was I grabbed this cork that I had in there from a previous orchid that did not fare well. And basically, that's not the tag, by the way. And basically just tied it up to this. I got this idea. Who did I get this idea from? Oh my God. And I said, I'm going to copy you. I think it was from Backyard Blooms. I can't remember now. But I really love the idea. No, it wasn't back. What am I talking about? I got it from Smiley. I got it from Smiley because I never thought about putting those on a mount like that. Now, as you can see, my greenhouse, for you newbies and also for my followers that have been with me for a while, it keeps getting more congested. I honestly don't know why. I have not been buying any orchids because I can't, well, that's not true. Maybe one here, one there, but they're getting really big, guys. Do you guys remember this, my green flash? It is coming back with a vengeance. Look at all the blooms it has. Now this beautiful mom, I've had her for a very long time. And the story goes that when I used to go to the flea markets in Tampa, Florida, Oldsmar Flea Market, there is a lady there that, I don't think she's there anymore, but her name is Marie. If you want to pronounce it properly, is Marie. She is from Haiti. She is a doll. I love her. I've known her for many, many, many years. And this was one of the very first orchids I bought from her. It was not the size at all. But I would say this has maybe 6-7 years already with me. And lo and behold, I went to a Popka one day to visit my friends over at Carl Smith, and I hear someone in the background. I'm like, I know that voice. And when I turned around, it's Marie. She actually has been working with the Carl Smith family for something like 25-30 years. So this actually comes originally from Carl Smith. So it's full circle. And no wonder I was saying this is such a strong, strong plant. Well, it makes sense now. Look at this. And she has a beautiful collection, by the way. I've seen some of the stuff that she sells and it's just breathtaking. So anyways, my green flash is in full bloom. And I think maybe by spring, we're really gonna see a show. Unfortunately, I did enter it in a show. And when I brought it back, this was about 2 years ago, it lost all its leaves. It was like, I don't want to be taken out of my space. I want to be kept here. And it lost. I was so depressed inside. So I repotted her in this wonderful pot from Ophi's, which, as you can see, has a lot of holes for drainage and for airing. So you can wet this a lot and it's still going to dry. And if you look inside, I use lava rock and charcoal. That's it. And I may throw in a little bit of wood chips, but in this case, I think I only use lava and charcoal because Dendrobiums, you can put Dendrobiums in charcoal alone and they do great. So don't overthink it when it comes to the medium. When it comes to Dendrobiums, they are very lenient on what type of medium. You could just do this. No medium whatsoever, it's on a mount. So they are hardy orchids. Just don't put them like in spag moss, because the sphagnum moss is good, but if you don't know how to control the water, you may end up rotting them. I have the one in my salon in spag moss because I don't water every day. I water maybe once every 2 weeks. So I let it drench in water for 10 minutes, then pour it all out and sit it back on my counter. And I don't water it again till it's bone dry. Now here are my samurais, one of my favorite little flowers. Now this orchid is one that will bloom all year round. Interesting fun fact about this Dendrobium is it's fragrant. Not many people know that. They just look at it, think it's gorgeous, and don't even go up to it to take a nice little smell to the petals. But it is a fragrant flower. Not strong, but it has fragrance. And what I love is those antennas, which that's one of the crosses, Antennianum. And let me see if I have the tag to make it. I'll just put it down. I do have the tag, but I'm not about to like pull that up here. But anyways, Stratoides with Antennianum creates this beautiful some right now. I've been telling you guys that this is the best way to show a flower from behind. You don't want to touch the petals too much because the oils in your fingers do burn the petals. Here, not so much because I have a screen that protects. As you can see, this side is covered, so there's no rainwater that falls, but this side, I like to keep it open like this. So that way some of my sun orchids and mounted orchids, as I have here on this wall, do receive more sunlight, which it needs it, and water, rainwater. Now, I did talk about this basket last time. Look how pretty, guys. This is my Neo-Finish. Wait, let's make it easy on me. Neostylus, I'm sorry. Neostylus Loose Neri from Banyang. This is a great flower. Now, it's not in bloom, but I just want to show you the basket that I got from Backyard Blooms. How beautiful this fit in here. It looks like it has been here all its life. And I think she's very happy. I can sense that she's very happy. Now my Rothschildianum, they're about to start pumping out some gorgeous, gorgeous blooms. I can't wait to show you guys when it's ready. It's all over the place. I hope it's like, last year I had a lot, but this one seems to be as promising as last year. All right, let's go. I think it's called Rebecca something. I can't remember that one. Now, when you say blue on orchids, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be blue, right? Now, this one, I caught it on time. It was getting thrips, and I was able to start spraying it. It lost these buds, but I sprayed it on time for this one, and look how healthy that spike is. So be very wary, especially when it's heavy rains and switch of seasons, not to overlook thrips, because you can lose a beautiful display of blooms due to those pesky little creatures that are just nasty. But this is called a Dendrobium Blue Twist. I got this from none other than the Orchid Den from my buddy Josh, who really knows his Dendrobiums. I think of all the people I know, he's like a Dendrobium master. He has so many, and the ones he sells are healthy. I bought this at Redland, and look at the size of this. And it was not that size. Look at this cane, how beautiful this is. When I bought it, it was about this big. And now it's giving me a gorgeous display of canes producing extra spikes. Now let's go up here. It's very humid today. It rained last night, so now the sun is evaporating everything. This one here is from my buddies at Backyard Bloom. I love this encyclia. It is such a cool, you know what? I don't even know if it, hold on. Oh yes, it has a very light fragrance. It is a gorgeous color tone, very subtle, with almost like a soft cranberry and then a soft pink, and then that beautiful flare in the center of the labellum, or the tongue of the orchid, in that hot, like not hot, but a deep cranberry. It's a beautiful, beautiful flower. And this encyclia, let me give you the name. I don't want to be editing too much later on. It makes it so much easier for me. It's a Nightingale. Has another spike here, ready to start opening. And look at the size. Now, I recently sprayed Epsom salt. I had a lot of yellowing in my greenhouse due to the fact that hold on. Oh, the tag is starting to get so humid here. This is their information if you guys want to reach out to them. Now, some of you write to me and say, hey, what's the name or the number? I usually, in my What's in Bloom and in some shows, mostly Ophies, I will put the name and information of the vendors that I'm covering in my description box. I just want to show you this really quick so you can see. If this happens to you, don't be disappointed. That's all the yellow leafing I picked up. Now, I do have a very large collection, so obviously you're going to see more leaves, and they will turn the leaves yellow due to temperature change and humidity. So we had high humidity, and it dropped to like 60 degrees here. All of a sudden, like 12 degrees overnight. So it shocked the plants. But with that said, it is producing a lot of spikes due to that shock. So it's almost like a good thing and a not so good thing when the leaves turn yellow, but you're gonna get a lot of blooms. This is my Serena Chang. Yes, this is the third What's in Bloom that she's still blooming. So if you guys want a very strong blooming orchid or dendrobium, this is definitely one for your collection. I have 3 of them, and these come from also Backyard Blooms. Hey, I just realized Backyard Blooms is rocking in my greenhouse this season. I can hear Lewis coming. Maybe I'll do a little spotlight on him because he does love that spotlight. So anyways, it's still blooming. I wanted to show you guys so that way if you've been following me in the past few videos, you'll see how long that orchid blooms for. Now this is from Udeli's. I believe this is the one they call the chocolate antler. I do have a tag, but it's way down there. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Oh no, this is not the chocolate antler. Hold on. There we go. I've had this for quite a while. I would say almost 4 years, maybe 3.5 years, 4 years. And look how gorgeous those flowers are, guys. So this is why I love dendrobiums, because even in an off season or in a fall or in winter, they will give you some beautiful blooms in your garden while you wait for your Cattleyas, your Bulbophyllums. Very pretty, just like voila. Now that's a show. This is my showtime. Now if you saw my last video, it was not open yet, but look at these spikes, how long they are. Comes all the way from up there, and that's not the only spike. There's one here, one there, another one back there. So these showtimes, this comes from Waldor. They are heavy spikers. That's the full name. That's where it's from if you want to get some. Now he's usually here in the Tamiami shows selling. This is where I got this, at the Tamiami show. But isn't that a gorgeous flower? Unfortunately, I don't think it's, no, they're not really that fragrant. But look at the petals. They have like yellow and pink, which is a beautiful combination of tones. One of my favorites. So this one, because the spikes are so long, unfortunately, I can't have my queen here, which was the green flash, used to be here. I had to put this one here. But you know, I kind of like it better here because I could enjoy my green flash as soon as I walk in, before you had to come all the way here and see it. Now you could just come right in and check it out. Now here's my little tunnel of love. Going through here. This is where I keep all my Bulbophyllums. As you see, nothing in bloom. My Wilbur Chang is about to start blooming. I brought my Dendrobium from Udeli's here, which was indoors in my garage. And now this is my Annie Bell. She's supposed to be blooming in spring, but somebody did not give her the memo. And she decided to give me blooms in fall entering winter. But she is one big mama, look at that. And you know, this roof, I've explained it before, this shed, we had a storm and the whole thing ripped and fell. The material wasn't that good anyway. So the whole thing ripped, fell, and so this was exposed to the sun for like 3 weeks. So you're gonna see this granny apple kind of tone. Don't worry about that. When your Cattleyas or your Schomburgkias or your Vandas have that, that really means that it's getting the proper amount of sun. And when it gets that, it induces more spikes, which probably explains why there's 3 beautiful buds ready to open. And this is a gorgeous flower. Now my Ingrecum Crestwood that you guys have seen in the past, one of my oldest ones, I got this at from Pam at Orchids in Bloom. This big mama this whole piece here fell back. It didn't crack or anything. So look, I had to tie her because it's getting so massive that I had to do some tying. But look in here, she is ready to give me a spike. Now I truly hope it gives me multiple spikes, because that's when it looks good. But these are all keikis that it produced since I've gotten it. So I can't wait for these well, they're not babies anymore. The keikis from the mother plant. I can't wait for them to start blooming, because it'll be a showpiece. Now let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Look who's over there. It's a cranberry and yellow extravaganza. This came from a very good friend of mine, Farida. For you guys that know, you know who she is. And this was a gift she gave me this time around when she came from the Redland show. It's funny because we gifted each other. She wanted the white reception, and I surprised her. I told Pam, I'll take care of that, and just let when she comes to pick it up, tell her it's already on me. And so she came to my house and gave me this as a housewarming gift. And look, she says it's the colors you love, and sure enough, it is a beautiful Cattleya. Now she got this, I think that's Soroa. That's the name of it. That's the information. And I really am so in love with it. It gave me 2 beautiful buds. Well, it already had the buds, but it gave me 2 beautiful blooms. And the fragrance. Oh, mama, you smell so good. Nature is just perfect in its art, right? Create something so gorgeous. And I love what it came in. This is what I call plug and play. It's already established on the little platform here, little crate. They remind me of those crates that they bring supplies in. But they're so cool because honestly, I think Cattleyas prefer to be free-rooted on a mount than in a pot. I do have them in pots, as you see here, and they're doing okay, but I'm very careful in the watering because they easily get root rot, and they're prone to scales, mealybugs, and all those nasty little creatures that like to tag on to your plants and live free rent on there while they're killing the flowers and the leaves. Now this was given to me by Joanna, one of the members of our society, Bubbly and Orchids. And she has 2 of these, I believe, mammoth, very big. And so she's ready to divide the other one. So we're trying to figure out when we do like a little get together here. It's just like I said, the busyness here has kept us from doing a lot of things. So hopefully we can do a little Orchids and Bubbly gathering here at my place and do a video on dividing orchids. And now I don't have the actual name. It is a Brassavola mix, but this is not the proper name. Somebody told me it's not. It's called something else. So I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna put it down here as I always do in my editing. But check these out. This is my, oh, by the way, this is my little chandelier of Vandas from Moats. See this one, perfect example. This one was hanging over there. And look at the difference between sun and no sun. So you see, granny apple, green apple. But look, there's no spike on this, but there's a beautiful spike on that. Look at this one, there's another spike here, right there. Let me see, because every time I look, I discover, look, there's another spike here, right there. So guys, November 8th, I don't know if this is gonna come out on time. It's a Saturday, hopefully it does. Moats is gonna have an open house for 1 day only, November 8th. And you can get those same orchids or Vandas from them. I love collecting them because they're just so small, and so they don't take a lot of space. As you can see, I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place, but as you can see, you can put them all together like a chandelier, and it just looks really, really pretty. And they bloom a lot, by the way. If you want to see, if you want to make sure something blooms a lot, just look at the old spikes. Now, this was from my last visit at Redland show, and it comes from Crawlsmith. I had to have this. The colors on this Vanda are so saturated. Look at that. And as it ages, it gets deeper and more colorful. Again, that beautiful combination of tone that I so love. And I am glad I finally got it, because Sierra Madre had something similar, not the same, but similar, but it had this type of saturation. And I was so angry that I didn't take it home. But then Crawlsmith came through, and they had, I think, only 3 of these. Now up here, I'm going to show you a little thrip problem I had. Do you see what thrips do? They morph your flower, even if and they do this, they burn it. But I did get 2 beautiful flowers. This is a Liam Singh, which is a very difficult one to find nowadays, because the facility that grew these in Thailand, I think it was, or Taiwan, I think it was Thailand, burned down, unfortunately, or was a storm. I can't remember exactly what happened. So they lost a lot of their Vandas, and now we have to wait for the seedlings to grow before they go back on the market. So that can take a couple of years. But this is one beautiful smelling orchid. It has a great lemony type of, at least for me, like a lemony meringue type of smell or fragrance. Very, very pretty. Now, over here, we have Big Mama. Look at Big Mama. She came from Fairchild Tropical Gardens. This was in my haul. And this is the one that I always forget the name, Panda something. I'll put it underneath. Wait, hold on. Shh. Hello, Nelson, you have the name right there. Shavan Panda. I could just hear Wendy right now screaming through the thing, Shavan Panda! She's the one that told us about the name immediately, because she is sort of a dictionary. But look at the color of this Dendrobium. Now, from that home visit I went to, I am so inspired to put these all over my trees. So I think I'm about to start on a mission of buying a lot of Dendrobiums for my trees, because I can't put them in here, but they do grow well on my trees. Imagine this just pouring out this amount of inflorescence from your tree. It would be absolutely beautiful. But look at the other day I was forgetting, I kept on saying spray. It's a flare. So when you see these little markings on the petals, it's called a flare. When it looks like you went with a little piece of spray, that's what that is called. It's just a very, very beautiful Dendrobium. And they do last. Dendrobiums last a long time blooming. So if you get Dendrobiums, you're going to enjoy the blooms for quite a while. And I have a little surprise. Do you guys remember this from my last video? Well, this is not the same flower. The 2 flowers I had already died off, but it shot 2 more buds. I got this from Oncidium. And this was one that everybody wanted. And I only saw 1. It is incredibly fragrant. It has a beautiful soft yellow, a very like Easter colored pastel on the labellum with the pink and yellow and red. But the fragrance, guys, what an incredibly fragrant flower. I was so happy when I saw 2 more buds coming through. I'm like, wow, you like to bloom a lot. And here, I'll give you the name. There's Oncidium, because does have 2 tags. Here we go. That's the actual cross right there. So if you guys can find this cross, I encourage you highly to get this. I don't see this quite often. You may want to call Odom and see if he has any more divisions. Maybe he got this from a mother plant. But right now, this Cattleya is my world. And right next to it, we have the constant blooming. It's bloomed. This is the 3rd flower it's bloomed for me this season. This is the Amazon, Orchid Amazon. Let me get it here. I did get this from, I just borrowed an old tag, but this was on the pot, Cattleya Amazon, and it comes from Ecuagenera. And I'll tell you, go to they're usually in their facilities. If you're in a pot there, I go breaking my my tags. They get so dried here. This was in their clearance rack. They do have a clearance rack, and I paid. It was really tiny when I got it. I got it about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, and I paid $12 for this. It's a very fragrant flower, very cool petals. It's not your traditional like these type of petals. It's more like the purpurata type of petal, where they're thinner. But I love it because it gives a whole different perspective of a Cattleya. You know, you have these that are traditional, and now this one is more of a stylized flower. And beautiful tones, of course, and that labellum. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now the Yaya, I love this name, especially because it reminds me of Roxy's mom. We all call her Yaya. And I believe she got that name from her grandkids. But look at that. Isn't it a beautiful, delicate flower? Now I saw one in my last home visit. She had plenty of these, but she also had one that was all alba. It had the same petal shape, but here in the center, it just had a little bit of that pink, very slightly, but no pink on the petals. It was so pretty. I hadn't seen one like that. And Yayas, by the most part, you can get them at any show. They're pretty standard at the shows. But if you don't have one of these, next time get one. Very, very nice. And there, it's one of the smaller dendrobiums, so it doesn't take up a lot of space as well. That's something good to keep mind of if you're limited in space. You don't want dendrobiums that are large cane, so ask when you buy a dendrobium if space is a matter. Ask them, is this a small space or a large space dendrobium? Just showing these to show you how these dendrobiums are spiking so well in the fall. Now, we were talking about Oncidiums a while back, and a lot of you guys tell me that your Oncidiums don't do well. Look at this Oncidium. This one was one that was almost completely dead for me. I put it on this piece of wood, and it's growing away from the wood, and look how healthy it is. So Oncidiums, the trick to Oncidiums is take them out of the pot. Don't keep them in the pot. They just don't do well in pots. When you buy them in pots, it's because they keep them in controlled temperatures in nurseries. And of course, those dendrobiums are going to do well, and there's a regimen that they use that keeps them safe. But by the most part, take them out of the pot and put them on a nice mount or on a tree. Now this comes from J&J Unique Orchids. This is called the Vanda Gen Crown Fox. Man, as soon as I'm out here for a little while, my throat starts getting locked. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a humidity or pollen. In Miami, there's pollen all year round. I don't think there's a season there's no pollen. But look, this is an award-winning Vanda. I bought this at Ophi's when they were there about 3 years ago. And I just had to have this flower. Look at that, how pretty. Beautiful ombre of color. So JJ, thank you for creating such a beauty. She gives a lot of blooms all year round. Look at all these spikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's giving me 5 spikes since I've had it. 6. Here's another one hiding back here. 7. 7 spikes. All right, guys, I think that will conclude the blooms in my greenhouse. I'm going to take you around to show you my surprise. Now let me show you this up close. I don't think it's fair that I didn't show her up close, because she really is a gorgeous little flower. But it's a tiny flower, so it's like the size of my thumb. See? Very, very pretty flower. I love you, Green Flash. You've been with me for so long. I will not ever give up on you. Even though I thought I lost her at one point, but she came back. And let's just do a quick stop here. Look at my bonsai, guys, that I got from the orchid supply store. Look how great she's doing. This is the first time a juniper does so good for me. That was the first time I put a juniper in a greenhouse. I used to put them indoors. Junipers do not like to be indoors. And this is getting it ready for a Ludminiana chandelier that I've been working with Julian of Crawl Smith. But it's just sitting there. Oh, look at my Tolumnias. Now, Tolumnias don't do well with me. These are the only 2 that are living. I don't know why. They just don't do well. Look at this, how pretty. My flowers are gone. But this was a mount that I got from my friend Doug. If you guys saw my haul, you'll see the unboxing. My yellowbird, still blooming. She's gonna be shooting way more flowers. I see several spikes out there, but look, this is a yellowbird, Nardosa, with Richard Mueller. And it comes from Brethren Orchids. I've had it here now for about almost 2 years. And this beautiful wall sconce that my viewer, I'm trying to see what this is. Oh no, I thought there was something cracking there. Anyways, this was a gift from my viewer, special viewer of mine. Her name is Roxana, but in Brazilian, you don't say the R the way we do, you say Roxana. So thank you, Roxana. I think I'm saying that correctly. I should know how to say it. But anyway, this is just one beautiful arrangement that I created here. And it's gotten so big since I put it there. Now, due to the last really bad weather we had, she suffered a little bit, but she's coming back. She's coming back, and look, first time shooting these blooms. I can't wait to show you guys. Now let me show you my surprise. Remember my work area? Look at it. It is cleared out. This was so much work, guys. I had 2 huge tables here full of Phalaenopsis. And unfortunately, with the storms, this ceiling is that plastic, corrugated plastic. And we had a massive, massive storm here last year that cracked some of it. And as you see down here, all that green is water that was dripping. So it damaged a lot of my phals. These are the ones that I have in the hospital. I have to repot these. They're not doing that great. You know, I'm always taking these leaves out because this brings pests if you leave them. But anyways, they were worse, guys. The leaves were so wrinkled. I mean, wrinkled. And I started watering them. I'm gonna repot all these, but they're starting to come back. I'm looking at good, healthy roots. These are the ones that just, and also this poor Cattleya in the shade house, in the shade area where I told you it dropped. All this is sunburn. This is such a beautiful flower, and I've had it for so long. It's a Greenwich Elmer. It's one of the first ones I bought at the shows when I started collecting. It's giving me now a new growth. So she's coming back. I'm not giving up on you. And then the Hoyas that I bought and I showcased, I still have here in my glass. As you can see, I put those 2 drops of the orchid, what's it called? I'll show you now. It's from Ophi's. And look, here's a perfect example. This variegated carya that was gifted to me years ago. by Rick and Swiffer. If you guys know his channel, it's a cool channel on Hoyas. I took it out of the pot and look at this. It loves to be in water. So if you guys have Hoyas, take a cutting, put it in water, and it'll live in water. It doesn't need any medium. So I am getting this one prepped so I can put it back on a hanging pot. But it's been like this now, I would say 3 months, maybe more. And it lost so many leaves. It had like 1 leaf, and look, she's coming back. So when you get cuttings, just put them in water and put maybe, I would do like 1 to 2 drops of KLN into the glass. And this is also very good. Orchid opener. This is really, really good. This is something that the Ophies is selling now, and it really helps your orchids produce some beautiful blooms and strengthen that plant in order to give you several bloom cycles. Well, not several bloom cycles, but several blooms during its cycle. I'm like speeding up. But anyways, isn't this great? How much more room. And this is phase 1. I still have a lot more to do. I got rid of so many things that were here because we did this whole pathway. And so we use this area to do the concrete mixing. Like I said, we do everything ourselves. And so this became like a hospital / work. It was just a mess. Here, my beautiful collection of Hoyas doing wonderfully this season. There's some that are, let me pull this here. This is a, oh, let's see, I lost the tag. But I remember this, I think it's unculata. I'll put it underneath. Beautiful, beautiful little flower. I love these flowers. Man, I can't believe I lost. Maybe it's on the side, let me see. No, tell you the winds here are unforgiving. They will knock everything down, and it's part of living in Florida, guys. It's a beautiful place to live in. Beautiful skies, as you can see. It's more this than the other. You get a lot of this type of weather here, but when we do get a storm, we get a storm. Now down here is my other little surprise. Can you see what I'm about to show you? She's back. My quick tent, I had to clean it all out. If you guys, I don't have any pictures, but this whole area grew ferns like a rainforest. It looked like a rainforest in here. So I got in there, I cleaned everything out. I redid the sand. As you can see, those leaves were not there because there's a rip in there. But it was a lot cleaner than this. But look how beautiful. As a matter of fact, I need to put the fan. I have a fan in here. These were all under that massive, where the whole water was dripping. It was falling on top of these. I'm surprised they're even as good as they look. Now this here, this is my newbie. Thank you, Gio from the Orchid Care company that I'm telling you about. He gifted me this when I went to do the home visit. And look at the colors and size. I love the size of these flowers. Look at that. Is that not huge? Gio, I really, really love this Phalaenopsis. Now these are called standard Phalaenopsis or moth flower orchid. I never get tired of these. So I already put it in its own little terracotta pot and placed her in this place because the phals really do love this environment. As you can see, I do get a lot of light. But I decided to keep this open instead of keeping it closed. Only because when you close it, it gets so hot and humid that it could damage your orchids. And that's what happened with me. I didn't take into consideration. See, this is what happened with the rain. See, this is already gone. I still have a keiki here that did okay, but I still need to repot this. This is pseudo repotted. and cleaned up and all that. So this is a project that is ongoing. It's phase 1, like I said. Phase 2 is going to be, they're going to look way better. But look how great they're coming back. All these leaves were kind of like droopy like this. And the trick is I watered it and watered it and watered it the first time for about 10 minutes there with a spray. So it was really drenched, and then I let them dry out. So the bottom leaves, you're gonna get dry leaves like this on the bottom. It'll release these leaves, and then it'll start giving you new growth, and it'll start tightening up on the new leaves. They'll be tighter and stronger, like these right here. I love the way this one came out. Look how pretty. It looks like a bonsai. But I'm so happy that I was able to save pretty much most of them. I'm still cleaning up like these type of leaves that are releasing. These are all from brethrens. But when you have such a large collection, if you don't have someone constantly caring for them, like if you have a large collection and you can get a caretaker like Gio, that is the best thing to do. I've noticed it already in 2 home visits that the orchids are primo. They are so perfect in every way, and it's because there's a constant care that's being done and not being skipped. In my case, there are times that I don't come back here for almost 2 weeks. So it's very difficult for me to have a continuous regimen, considering I run a business. My business is 32 miles away from my home. Look at these honos, known as I'm drawing a blank, not nobly. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot the name of these Dendrobiums, but they're so beautiful. When they do bloom, they give you such great fragrance. And I added these here because when you walk by it, anosmum, there we go. Dendrobium anosmum. I was gonna be killing myself. But anyways, they're doing wonderful. Now they do drop all their leaves, and then it gets filled with flowers. The last home visit, she had one very similar to mine, and she showed me a picture of it. I ended up editing it into the video. It was just absolutely beautiful. Now, I don't have much blooming on my trees. Let me see. Like I said, I haven't really been walking around here. I only have this Dendrobium here. This is the tree of life. You know why I call it that? Because when I have something that's not doing well, I put it here, and for some reason, it comes back to life. This Dendrobium, this is a new cane. As you can see, it's a keiki from the actual cane. Don't cut it, leave it alone. Let it do its thing. It grows like this in nature, leave it alone. I put it here. Here's all these new babies that it's growing. So yes, this is my mango tree of life. And I do have some beautiful Vandas that I bought from, these weren't dying. These were actually purposely placed here. And look at the established roots on this tree. She just finished blooming for me. So these are all hybrids from moats. And I want to put more. Are you listening, Bart? I just sent him all I didn't realize, he goes, send me everything that you got from us. And I realized I had like 15 Vandas from them. So that way, when I go over there and I'm shopping, I don't repeat, because I do repeat sometimes. I don't realize, like Josephine Vambreros, I have so many of them. And honestly, I don't get tired of them, but they are beautiful hybrids. Lewis is spraying our guava trees. We got a really ugly fungus. It smells funky.
This is just liquid copper.
Oh, liquid copper? Yes.
Liquid copper is not like a bad chemical.
It's not toxic. Well,
it's non-toxic, but what it does, it's sort of like shortcuts all the aphids. That's what I have here, aphids.
Yeah,
the black stuff here is caused by the aphids.
Oh, see guys?
They secrete this this honey-like substance that evaporates, and it lays on top of the leaves, and then this black fungus come on top of it.
It's
but
nasty.
Black fungus is not even alive, because it doesn't stay alive. It doesn't do anything to the plant. But what it does do is that it chokes my leaves and they cannot do the photosynthesis as supposed to.
Thus
So-
not producing fruits.
And also making the tree very, very weak. So the tree is just kind of trying to just give enough leaves so that it can survive and get into its natural rhythm, but it can't because it makes leaves and all the leaves get choked.
Well, I think that this is starting to work because the new leaves look really good.
Oh, absolutely. 1 week ago, it was just like this.
I remember.
1 week ago,
Yeah.
it was pitch black. Pitch black. And of course, I did the YouTube thing that you put soap because I wanted to go all organic. You know, you put soap and
That
a couple of
doesn't-
other things.
Not when it's this amount of
Exactly.
trees.
And then no. YouTube is great to give some directives, but
But you can see it. Look at all the new growth. up
no,
here.
absolutely. And 1 week, and not only that, even the rain and the sprinkler make them, it makes the fungus detach. And this is what's behind.
But the leaf looks really green.
The leaves are green. Exactly. They're just being paralyzed from what they need to do.
And that's your 101 on taking care of your guava trees by
Louis.
So anyways, guys, these are all our guava trees. We have had so much guava. Oh, and by the way, that tape that you see, that makes the bugs that go up get stuck on there. So that way it doesn't allow them to go up. But yes, this year, like I told you guys, these storms bring a lot of pests. And this is the first time we've had something like this on our guava trees. And this is the way, if you guys want to see how you grow guava, here's one. And he makes these himself, these little sachet bags. And when you cover it like this, it doesn't allow the wasp that puts the larva in there to get to the fruit. Because if you don't do that with guava, you may be eating some wasp larva. Now this is a project pending. This is my arachnids. It's doing beautiful, but you can't appreciate it because there's so much weed. And the rains do promote a lot of weed. So this is a project I'm about to start very soon. I don't know when, but I do have to do it because everything is growing all the way up. It's trying to reach out to the sun because it does love to bloom towards the sun. All right, guys, I think I am done. I don't think I have anything else to show you as far as blooms. So let's turn this around. All right, everyone, that is it. That is the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this little stroll through my collection, my greenhouse. There's still a lot more to show in the future because there's a lot of spikes, as you saw. I want to thank you guys for liking, leaving comments, sharing the video, subscribing. I noticed that there's so much more views than likes, and I know that you guys do like it because every video has a good amount of views, but you're forgetting to hit like. And when you forget to hit like, my algorithms do not go up. So the way that YouTube works is when you leave comments and you hit like and you share and you subscribe, it raises the algorithm. So when somebody searches on Google for orchids, my videos will be the first ones to show, or at least in the first 10 videos that are being recommended. So it's very important that you like. You guys know that I do this out of my heart. I love doing this. It costs money to do most of the episodes when I go out and about, especially during the heavy season. So when you guys donate to Super Thanks on my videos, you are helping me greatly because I do use that money directly back in my channel. I use it for gas, for tickets, for entrance, for all those things that I need to pay to do these videos. I use your donations for that. So that's the way that these channels grow and they become bigger and better. Last year we had a wonderful turnout of different episodes and different shows, and they are growing more and more each year, which means more travel and more money. So thank you all for helping me support this channel in any way you can, whether it's through donations or whether hit like or subscribe or sharing. When you share, it helps a lot. When you share, you care. So anyway, speaking about caring, I want to talk to you guys about this shirt. Let me see. Can you see it? It's gorgeous. I love it. John Soto's from the Fort Lauderdale Orchid Society gifted me this shirt. It is the new show that's going to be held in January. I will be most likely, he sent me an email, I have to respond. Sorry, John. Here's your response, John. I would love to do a giveaway. He asked me if I would like to do a giveaway to you guys, my viewers, for this show. So it'll be, I believe he says, a t-shirt and 1 or 2 passes. Don't hold me to that. I think it was 2 passes, you and a guest, to go to the show. And I'm gonna try to be there before the opening. That way I can show you the setup and put it out there as a live as soon as possible, so you are aware and you don't miss out. Because to me, this show is one of the best ones out there. It's like a mini Tamiami. It has so many blooms. It does get crowded, so try to get there early. There's many vendors and beautiful stuff that you don't see quite often. So I get excited for this show all the time. So thank you, John, for my shirt. I love it. It's very, very soft and very airy. I really do enjoy these orchid shirts. I have like a whole collection now that I usually wear to certain places that I go to. So I thank you guys for gifting me these shirts. I do wear them and I do love them. Anyways, for more information on shows, stay to the end of this video. You know, I always put some of those ads up there, and I hope to see you at one of these shows. And I hope to see you wearing one of my shirts as well. And if you don't know where to get one of my shirts, you can go straight to Orchids 365 and order it there online. I think they're $35. They're a super high quality shirt. When you receive it, people have already reached out to me and told me, wow, you weren't kidding about the quality. The quality of the shirt is just delicious. It feels like a little pajama on, and it hugs your body nicely. It's loose where it has to be loose. So if you haven't ordered, the females are V-neck and the males are crew neck like this. And I would love to see you out there with those shirts on so we can take pictures and then showcase you on my video. And if you can't go to the show and you have a shirt, just take a picture of yourself with your favorite orchid and I will spotlight you in the next episode. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. I will see you next time on my next episode. I am Nelson. You're watching NatureNel. And remember to always, always keep it green. See you on the next one.